Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 1 p.m. here in Chicago, Illinois. Yes, we are back home now. And it's time for another live stream. It is August 23rd, 2001. It's a Monday. It means it's time for a Monday mukbang. And for today, we'll be eating a bunch of these bars. Think exclamation point. I've never had these before. They're high protein bars. So 20 grams of protein, each of these bars. I've got 6 of them here. I'm going to taste them all. I'm not going to eat all of them. That would be a lot. I did that the first Monday mukbang I did that, and it just was a gut bomb. So I learned my lesson. I'm going to taste them all. We'll go through them together for the mukbang today. But first, I want to say hi to everyone listening on the audio only on the podcast. Hope you guys are having a good run out there or having a good commute. Hope you're having a great day. And everyone watching this on YouTube after the fact, hopefully that you are at a point in your day where you can sit back with a nice recovery beverage. I've got some afternoon coffee for me. It's going to, hopefully go well with many of these flavors of these Think bars. And I also just really enjoy coffee in the afternoon. It's not the best for me, but it's a minor indulgence that I seem to love. All right. So let's get to who's in the chat. Garrett wants to know, hey, are everyone still no luck finding power bars? I can't find a power bar anywhere. It feels like the moment I started looking for power bars, I couldn't find them anywhere. Before then, I just felt like I kind of always saw them around, but they were by the Snickers or whatever. So you're like, whatever, I'm not going to eat that. So like, I don't know. I can't find power bars. If you guys know where power bars are at, if you find like a link online, send me like a link on Instagram, and so that way I'll know, or let me know on Twitter, because I just can't find them. Yeah, Kyle says, yeah, where are the power bars at? I want to do power bars. That apple cinnamon, like that apple flavor, like I can taste it. I remember it from high school, but like, I haven't seen one in a really long time. Kyle also says, congrats on the bike too, Co. Out here looking like a pro triathlete now. Yeah, I don't think so, but I appreciate that. It's very nice of you to say, but I'm very excited about the bike. We brought it back. We put it on the bike carrier, brought it back home from Iowa to Chicago. And so I don't think I'm going to have time for a ride today. I went swimming this morning, but tomorrow we'll get out there. And I've been just like, as long as I've been thinking about all this triathlon training and riding a bike, I've been like, oh, I want to ride a bike all the way up and down like the Lakefront Path. It's a 20-mile path from end to end. I would love to be able to do an out and back, like the whole thing in one day. It's way too much to run. I mean, I could run it. It would be a lot. It would take some planning and some training and some specific time set aside for that. But on a bike, I feel like that could be a long morning, but I think I could do it in the morning, So hopefully I'll be able to do that soon. I won't be able to do that this week, but hopefully I'll be able to do that soon. Jeff Elliott says, hello. Recycle on Wednesday says, hi, everyone. Hoping able to stay a bit longer today. We'll see how it goes. I missed everyone. Well, we're glad that you're here now. We appreciate the time we have. Martha's here as well. Hi, Martha. And JC says, hello. I think I'd like some protein. I like what you did there. Garrett says, just got an ad for the Edis 4D Forward. Seems like a concept similar to the ONS Cloud Tech. Are you guys interested in that? I have 2 pairs of those. Both of them are in the wrong size for whatever reason. I don't know why I got them in 2 different people sent them to me, each of them in a different size. So I've got 2 pairs of them. So I'm not sure if I review that as a casual shoe or as a running shoe or what. I had the original Adidas 4D. I had the Star Wars edition, the Death Star version. They were heavy. They were real heavy. I tried running in them and they were okay, but like the technology didn't match up with the weight. Just couldn't make up for it. The knit was super comfortable. I enjoyed traveling in the shoe. So like that's kind of where it is. But I'm like, then like 2020 happened and I wasn't traveling anywhere. So I was like, I don't need this shoe anymore. So, but I got 2 more pairs sent to me. So maybe I'll have to figure out a way to put that into the rotation. At least just do a test run. Maybe run a couple of times in each one, see it, or run in one of them, see which one I like to fit better, and then I kind of go from there. Maybe. All right, Daniel M says, "Yo, he's working remote and puppy sitting again today. Oh, that's fun. That's a good way to do it." All right. Let's see who else we got here. My mom's here. Hi, Mom. How are you? Coming in from New Jersey. Hopefully you guys didn't get hit too hard with the storm. Henry, the hurricane turned tropical depression. I know hit the East Coast pretty hard over the weekend. the Tennessee as well. Is that what was going on in Tennessee as well with some of those mudslides and stuff? So I saw some of the footage for the Try for Lola. Scotty B and Remy were out there getting it done, but it looked like it was pouring rain. So congratulations to those two for getting it done in such tough conditions. All right. Mika says, it's a busy day keeping minutes in a city council meeting, so no running today. Also, hips play up a bit, so only 50 Ks last week. Some stretching while watching. There we go. That's a nice way to keep it nice and loose. All right, here we go. Louis says he's got had the half marathon this Sunday and finished with a personal best of 6 minutes on that course. All right, so like a course best. Nice. And it was the Tijuana half marathon, 1:32:41. Great job, Luis. Awesome. Great to hear that. All right. And Ray Soller says, hi, Co. I've awarded the Nova Blast 2 the Happy Jogger Trainer of the Year Award. Wow. Awesome. I mean, there's still a lot of time left in 2021 too. So like to put it out there, put the stamp on it now, boom. I mean, I'm not sure I can argue with that, but because it's a good shoe, but nice. I'm glad you enjoy it. All right. Let's get to the first of these bars. I know there's a lot of other chat in here. If you had a running question or if you're new here, welcome. I'm sorry. I hope I don't make you have to repeat yourself, but if you had a running question, I do want to get to it. But I also want to stay kind of like current as much as I can with the people that are here in the chat. So if I missed it, I'm sorry. Feel free to drop it in there a second time. All right. There's a couple of flavors. So I think I bought Think has a lot of bars. They have protein bars and high protein bars. And I was going to cherry pick some of the flavors to be like all flavors that I liked. But I was like, nope, let's stay with the high protein bars because there were 6 flavors available at the store. So I got one of each. And 2 of those flavors I don't think I'm going to like. And 4 I do. I think 4 I will. And then there was also a peanut butter flavored one, but I didn't get that one. So let's start off with one I think I'm going to like. Let's do this one first. All right. We'll start off with this one. This one is chocolate fudge. I feel like it's kind of hard to mess up. Even when you mess up a chocolate like protein bar, it's still like definitely, edible. 20 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar, gluten-free and low GI, think promise. Low glycemic index, I'm assuming. From an algae perspective, it does contain tree nuts, almond, milk, and soy, and it's processed in a facility that processes other tree nuts, peanut, wheat, and egg. So a lot of stuff. But here's the thing. It says that it does not contain sucralose, saccharin, aspartame, acesulfame, potassium. I'm not even sure what that is. Neotame or advantame. So interesting if you're looking to avoid some of those synthetic sugar or sugar substitutes. And the other thing is it's distributed by, I don't know if it's where it's made, but it's distributed at least by a local company out in Downers Grove. So interesting. All right. Some other stats, 230 calories. I think all these are about 230 calories per bar. All of them except one have 20 grams of protein. One has 18, but 20 grams of protein in this one, 24 grams of total carbs. And then weird sugar math happens. So that's, I don't know. It says that it's 0 grams sugar. So I don't know. I have no idea what it means. So it's 24 grams. Can anyone figure this out? 24 grams of total carbs, 1 gram of dietary fiber, 0 total sugars, 0 added sugars. Is that what they mean by 0 sugars? And sugar alcohol is 12 grams. So like I really have no idea like what it means sugar wise. I'm glad I'm not a person that has to understand that. I just eat a lot of stuff, I guess. Maybe I should understand that. Total fat is 8 grams and 190 milligrams of salt. So, okay. All right. Let's dive in. I'm excited about it. I'm very hungry too. So this will be good. All right. Looks like kind of like a candy bar. Like thinking whatchamacallit is kind of what it's reminding me of right now. Like, or a giant, like a Twix or something. Very fudgy. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting something more wafery, but I guess it's a high protein bar. Very dense, and it reminds me a lot in texture of the no cow bars we had last week. This is good. I like it. I feel like there's more of like a fudge texture to it than there is a chocolate flavor to it, if that makes sense. It's not like a super strong chocolate. It's very actually kind of mild. I just, like if you told me that flavor on that was milk chocolate bar, I'd say, yeah, tastes like a Hershey's kind of ish. That level of like not very and a high cocoa percentage chocolate bar. So that's where we're at. That was a good one. All right. Let's see. What did I miss while I was rambling on about this chocolate bar? Looks like we got Remy here. He says, thanks for the shout out, Cope. Means a lot to her. Yeah, I mean, that was, for those of you who don't know a little bit more of the backstory, I think everyone here knows the backstory on the 5K, the Try for Lola that Remy was doing yesterday. His sister suffered a stroke, and she's a stroke survivor, and she's been working her tail off to get back to the state she's in now. And so lots of people, both in person and virtually, were able to participate in the Try for Lola, and I thought that was super cool. Really good to see the community rallying around to support your sister. So that was amazing. And I hope she continues to do well and continues to progress. All right. Kyle says, talking about the Adidas 4D, he says, in my opinion, Adidas should drop the 4D thing. Here's what I think about that is, like, I feel like it needs a little bit more focus. It either needs to be purely like a fashion thing and an experiment, kind of like just like a labs type of thing, like Adidas Labs or Adidas Next or Adidas, whatever they want to call it. Or they should really make it more focused on running, right? And so, like, I feel like it's a running silhouette, but I'm not sure it's a running shoe or made for runners, So that's the thing. I love the concept. I love there's a Westworld connection to me in it. Every time I see it, I think about Westworld in a good way. Is that possible? In a really good way. So, like, that's I like it, and I want it to, like, succeed. So I'm trying to be a big cheerleader for it, but on the other hand, like, right now, I mean, we'll see. I still have to try those other new ones. They haven't delivered yet. We'll see how it goes. All right. Land in Between says, good luck on your first triathlon. Also in Chicago. See that after. I could see it. Look at that picture. This is beautiful. You get a drone shot up there? That's nice. He's prepping for the first solo marathon in early November of this year. Awesome. Are you going to run Monumental? Is that what it is? That's early November, isn't it? I think. But good luck for the training. Awesome. Brett wants to know, hey, Co, how do the Primex and the Adios Pro 2 compare? I think that it's kind of like, I think of it as like the Pokemon, right? So there's usually like the 3 levels of the Pokemon. Like there's a regular one, then you evolve it once, and then you evolve it the second time, and it becomes like the full-fledged. The Adios Pro 2 is like evolving at that one level, and it's like, ooh, this is nice. This is a fierce attack vehicle. Awesome. I love it. And then you evolve it again to get to the Primex, and you're just like, oh, this is too much. It's like kind of too crazy. It's unstable. You know what I mean? It's like if like whenever they mutate creatures, and it's like, oh, it's unstable. I don't think the genetic structure is going to be able to handle it. It's just that kind of thing. So it's like over the top. I think where they're trying to go with that is like, with the excessive stack height, with the double carbon layer, all that stuff. They're going for like think about Alter G treadmills, but put it into a running shoe, not a treadmill. So like, imagine if you could run your hardest workouts and still feel fresh the next day, right? I mean, I think lately something that's been going around on Twitter, Doctors of Running put something out, and something that I've been thinking about a lot lately too, is like the marathon racing shoes that we have now are so different than the marathon racing shoes that we had even 4 years ago. And those shoes 4 years ago, like those were the best that technology could offer in terms of a marathon racing shoe. And that's when I think the genesis of the advice of like, oh, after a marathon, you shouldn't even think about running for 2 weeks. Like that weird rule, which I've never followed, that came about because you raced in like Zoom streaks, back then. And so then that whole idea got flipped on its head, and now people can run more marathons or run harder workouts in quicker succession. Not because the shoe itself during the run does something special, but it's just that it prevents the unnecessary or undue breakdown of like your joints and stuff during the workout. And I think that's what the Primex is trying to do. I think that like they put it in this racer package to make it super exciting and make it seem like it's even faster than the Adios Pro 2, where I think it's probably the right idea, because if you put the Primex in like a max cushion package, people are like, what is that? Put it in like a Adios Pro 2 package, and it just looks pretty exciting. So like, I think that's where they're trying to go with it. But I mean, I like it, but it's just so unstable to run in. It's like so tall, and the upper, just I couldn't get it dialed in right. And it's it's weird to run in. I like it. I love it, but it's also weird. So, all right. All right. Let's see. Vincent says it sounds like the Primex is a Charizard. Oh my goodness, that's so funny. And anyone wants to know is how's the road bike? We'll be doing a review video of it. I love the road bike. It's a lot of fun. I'll do a video of it kind of like after the triathlon, but I don't know. We could call it a review maybe, but like it'll be more about like a noob's experience with it. 'Cause I just don't have like a lot of the vocabulary yet to talk about bikes or experience to talk about like, is this good or bad? Because I don't have a lot of other bikes to compare it to except like a Walmart bike. So like I'll make content about it, but you know, it won't exactly be a review. It'll kind of look and feel like it may be, but I'll try to be like, look, this is just like someone who's been trying to desperately find a bike for the last 2 months, finally got one, and I'm going to talk about it. So that's kind of what it'll be. All right. Let's see. Kyle says, I think the more I run in and modify the Bondi 7, the more I dislike it. Only 35 miles so far. Interesting. What have you been doing to modify it? What was the word? Remember Tool Time, that Tim Allen show, a home improvement? He's like, yeah, that didn't have enough horsepower. So what was that word? So I modified it. Is that what the word he said? I don't remember. And Ray Solers, the happy jogger with the super chat. Thanks so much, Ray. Says, what place do you think that a tree artist will take in the carbon plated shoe space? I think right now, the way I see it is, I think that from a pure performance perspective, I find that it fits really well in the carbon plated trainer space. So it reminds me a lot of the Fuel Cell TC. That I think is the shoe that it's probably closest to in feel and like road manners, like and in fit, all that stuff. Like I feel like that's the closest to it. But I think also with the Fuel Cell TC and the Artist, those two shoes, I think for a lot of people, it could be a trainer. Like if you love the Zoom Fly 2 or the Zoom Fly 3, like that's a shoe that you should definitely pick up. But you can use it for training. And a lot of people will use it for racing, just like I saw a lot of people racing half marathons and marathons in the Zoom Fly Flyknit and the Zoom Fly 3. So I think that's kind of where it falls in, like kind of in between those two, but you can certainly use it for a wider variety of things. All right. And Kyle says he's been, this Bondi, he's been dremeling areas of the midsole. I think that's dangerous territory. All right. Rainrunner wants to know what's for lunch. All right. Oh, I think you guys are talking about what's for lunch. That's cool. You guys go ahead. Tracy Smith wants to say, are the Zoom Flies discontinued? No, there's a Zoom Fly 4. I thought I just saw some images of it. I think Ben Johnson just posted the whole not quite Volt color pack. There is a Alpha Fly, a Vaporfly Next Percent, a Zoom Fly 4, and a Pegasus, I thought. Is that what the fourth one was? There's 4 shoes in the pack that are like a banana yellow or almost like a vanilla yellow. So, all right. Speaking of yellow, here's this one. Lemon Delight. This one I just realized that I'm not going to like lemon. By the way, so like I didn't mention it in the video on the bike video when I was eating all those donuts. So I had 3 donuts the other day. The glazed, the old fashioned, and then the Homer. The old fashioned was a really good old fashioned donut, but it was caked in sugar frosting. And it had a really strong, just a touch too much lemon in it. I know you need the lemon to perk up the sugar a little bit, to wake it up a little, but there was a little bit too much, and I got like a lot of lemon flavor in it, and I was like, this is a lemony old fashioned. So I didn't really enjoy that as much. I just don't think I like lemon. So here's the Lemon Delight. This one seems to be a little bit short. I don't know, maybe I'm just imagining it. It seems shorter than the other one, but it looks like, it reminds me of like something I used to eat a ton of in college, were frosted animal crackers. There was like a generic brand, and there were animal crackers like the cookie, and then frosted. This was what it like kind of looks like that. The lemon smell and flavor is all in the frosting, and on the inside, it's like there's something crunchy in here, like some sort of wafer, or I think like maybe a crisped rice. The sats on this are pretty similar. Has a little bit more salt than the other one, 230 milligrams of salt. This is actually pretty good. mean, I don't see myself ever buying these again, but if I were, say, buying a whole bunch of stuff to provide snacks for like a run group, and this was for afterwards, I would buy a couple of those because I think people that like lemon would really like that one. That's tasty. It's good. Terry says it looks like Light Strike. Don't eat it. That's so funny. Spence Ohm says, Cozy, you're brave for getting 3 Hertz donuts. I can't eat more than half before giving up. So much sugar. It was a lot of sugar. It was a lot. And each donut got like successively bigger than the last two. Like, so they were giant donuts. Like, I think one time we'll have to do a Dunkin' Donuts mukbang too. And just to compare, like, from like a donut shop donut and like a Dunkin' Donuts donut, the size difference is it's like the donut shop donut's usually like a third bigger. So it's a lot of donut. All right. And Ray says about the Trader artist, he's interested in comparing it to the Saucony Endorphin Speed. Yeah, I think that a lot of the people that like the Endorphin Speed will like the artist as well. Now, the version that I had a thinner carbon plate than the final production version. Mine was 1 millimeter thick. The final production, I believe, is 2 millimeters thick. So I'm hoping that gives it a little bit more bounce, a little bit more rigidity, so that when you're picking up the pace a little bit, it will distinguish it a little bit more from the Endorphin Speed. But yeah, I could see those two also being very similar. And Frank Lulier says about the Homer donut, that's a Max Cushion donut. Yeah, it's a Max Cushion donut for sure. Donut shoes, I guess if we're gonna call them that, are heavy in the Max Cushion area. And that shop specifically, like, they had their 2 cases, one set up for I call them caked and fried donuts, but I guess like one is yeast and one is not. But on the fried donut side, like, everything was just super over the top, like very Midwestern, but also like very much a donut shop. So there was like a s'mores donut, a Cookie Monster donut. It looked like Cookie Monster had eaten part of cookie on the donut, and it was amazing. Very artistic. A lot of effort goes into that. A lot of sugar goes into it too. But yeah, that was the Homer is Max Cushion. It was bigger than the regular glazed donut, and then it had just such a thick caked layer of frosting on it. It was a lot. I need some coffee now. All right, here we go. Here's this. Garrett says, business idea, protein donuts for athletes. I think you're onto something. I mean, I think the protein makes it hard for like the pastry, you know. That's why I feel like protein bars are really hard too, you know. But Rainrunner says, speaking of sugar, I tried a honey stinger gel for the first time yesterday, and whoa, too sweet. Yeah, I've stayed away from the honey stinger gels. I had one that was like it was like raspberry ginseng or some weird combination of flavors, and it was just like, I've never like spit out a gel before. I still haven't, but that one brought me the closest to it. That one was tough. So since then, I'm like, I think I'm okay with the honey. I'll have a stroopwafel, I'll have the recovery mix, I'll have the whatever, everything else but the gels. I'm a little bit gun shy now. Jason Dahl said, if I worked at that donut shop, I would ask everyone if they wanted a Hertz donut and hope they would respond with, what's a Hertz donut? That would be awesome. That is, they should have done that. And no one asked me if I wanted a Hertz donut. Man, I think that's a missed opportunity. Minea Altman says, have you tried My Protein bars? My Protein bars? I don't think so. I'll have to check. And Will Willing says, if you were to add a long run shoe to the rotation from your video, what would be a couple of choices? So like the long run, I think a lot of that's a wide category, because I think that there's a lot of different ways that people like to do their long runs. So from the carbon plated options, I think some of the ones we've been talking about would be great choices, like the Endorphin Speed, like the Artreo Artist, like the Fuel Cell TC. Like those are all really good choices if you want some carbon in there, or the Speed doesn't have carbon, but it's got nylon plate. So if you want something that's got a little rigidity to it. Other shoes are like long run is just kind of like, you know, really good, not Max Cushion, but not also a racing shoe. So like they're just long run shoes. I think would be shoes like the Puma Deviate Nitro. Like that one has a half carbon plate in it, but I really enjoy that one. Other shoes that I like kind of for long distance, but maybe aren't so well this year it's carbon, is like the Boston 10 has a carbon plate, or the energy rods in it. So those are some shoes that I would look at. Like basically I use the speed shoes for my long runs, because usually my long runs, I don't want to be out there for like more than 2.5 hours. So I try to make part of it fast, you know? So like I use my speed shoes for my long runs. So that's, I think, probably where I'd put it in there. Or I'd use a max cushion shoe for a long run if I just wanted to get out there and get the mileage done, regardless of kind of time. So those are some ways that I would look at it. But the Zoom Flyknit, I like the Flyknit more than Zoom Fly 3, I think. And so like that's another one that would be in there. So like the racer trainers, like that category, I feel like fits really well in long run shoe, or also speed. So it's kind of like, I feel like after those 4 main categories, everything kind of blends a little bit and gets very specific towards an individual preference. So that's why I don't, even 4 categories I feel like is a lot, but that's kind of how I like to break it down. All right. Terry says, most protein powders can be used as a replacement for flour. Really? He says he makes a fruit cake with a 20-80 mix. Protein, fruit, and cake. Perfect. That sounds good. That sounds like something like almost like, is the texture like a fruit, like a cake still? Is it more like a scone, or is it more like a muffin at that point? I'm intrigued. All right. Let's keep it moving on to bar number 3. Let's go with, this is one I think is going to be most fun. So we'll try this one next. It's chocolate and cream cupcake. It looks like one of those Hostess things. Remember these? Oh, goodness. My mouth waters just looking at this picture. This has the least amount of protein, 18 grams, and it's got 2 grams of sugar compared to the other ones have like 0. One of them has 1. So a little bit different. Calorie wise, it's 250, so it's the most calories, and a little bit more fat at 10 grams. Sodium is still at 150, so not crazy. And then again, some weird sugar math, 28 grams of carbs, but 14 sugar alcohols, and then 4 grams of dietary fiber. Again, I don't know how sugar math works. All right, well, look, it's even got like a little bit of frosting on it, or like what looks like it. I mean, it's kind of half-hearted. It looks, I mean, that is very different than like this, but I guess it's like, you know, it's like Instagram versus reality maybe, or maybe that's just one is just the inspiration, letting you know what you're getting. But I'm surprised that somehow that like swirly design isn't somehow trademarked. Oh, this one's much more like a pastry. It's got 2 layers in it, whereas the other ones were kind of more monolithic all the way through, or homogeneous all the way through. This tastes like kind of like a piece of fudge. This is good. This is really good. This definitely tastes like a chocolate bar, like a candy bar, like a dessert. Good. Highly recommend that one. That one's good. Tasty. Oh, I got 3 more of these to eat though. This is a lot. Rainrunner says, I want to host this cupcake now, but not really. That's pretty much exactly how I feel about it too. Adam says, Instagram isn't reality. Yeah, it's funny. Scott says, is it a candy bar period? I mean, I feel like if someone wanted candy for a candy bar, I think that would be satisfying for them. Although candy bars, when I think about them, they're usually a bit bigger than that, and they're not shy about sugar. So this is trying to make an effort to be like low glycemic index, where I feel like a candy bar really wouldn't care, unless it was like a health candy bar. But yeah, I mean, pretty much it's a candy bar. I mean, all of these are, right? Candy bar, granola bar, breakfast bar, well, all these different words are kind of like the same. We're all kind of looking at the same thing. I mean, there's certainly scales of which ones are more for, you know, scratching the itch if you've got like a sugar craving, and there's others that are like, you know, I need portable food, and you know, there's a spectrum, but you know, they're all kind of in the same category. Greg's here. What's going on, Greg? He said, just started viewing and you're making me hungry. That's the Monday Mukbang. And it's good to have you here, Greg. Hope you're doing well. Noah says, hey, was keeping up with the Leadville 100 coverage. Any interest in a race like that? I think you'd do great. I think I was terrible in that. I just think that the course is so unforgiving that I don't think I could handle it. I think it would. I think I'm a really rhythm-oriented runner, and I feel like when like courses are really brutal, like the Leadville is, I think it would just really throw me off. I would just get demolished by the uphill because I'm not used to it, or the altitude, and then coming down, I'd want to try and make up for lost time, and underappreciate how much that also puts a toll on your body. Is the downhill running. So I just feel like I would make all sorts of mistakes and I probably wouldn't make it past the first aid station. That's my prediction of if I got thrown into the Leadville 100. I think that any 100-mile race, I just think is a lot. I can't imagine even doing like a flat 100-mile race or a rolling 100-mile race. So like you're adding on to that, like one of the most difficult 100-mile races. And I just don't know. So we'll see. We'll try and tackle a 100K first. And then we'll see where we're at from there. Hopefully, I won't finish it and think, what would be great if this were longer. So, I'm hoping that my body has no desire for that. But, I don't know. I've been saying, like, I'm not going to ever run X distance before. And then it doesn't take long before I'm like, I feel like that puts it in the back of my subconscious of, like, you should probably run that distance. So that's kind of what happens. And Adam says the Leadville course, I lost my mouse here. The Leadville course is a very runnable course as mountain races go. Like the more I get into ultra running and mountain race and mountain trail, is the less I understand what the word runnable means anymore. People were saying that all the time about Western states. And I'm like, I don't consider any of this very runnable at all. I guess you could run it. I guess that's what you mean, rather than like scrambling or getting like the running poles out and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think it's a lot. I think there's a big distance mentally from where I'm at to where those races are, where I feel like I don't know if I'm ready to travel down that path yet. Spicy Pretzel says, hey, what would you say is your favorite video of yours and why? One of my favorites is, you know what? I don't even know the name of it. I think it's called Sunrise Peak. I once was on a work trip in Phoenix and ran up I'll call it a mountain called Sunrise Peak in Arizona, and I think it's in Scottsdale, maybe it's in Phoenix. And I didn't know that I could get to the top. I wasn't sure if I was going to get to the top. And I brought a drone with me on that day, and that was a lot of fun. And so I was just out of my element, huffing and puffing, felt like I was going to die the entire time. The altitude, I think I was at like 1,000 feet. So like it wasn't anything spectacular, but I really enjoyed that one. That was a lot of fun. And then I've used clips from that video in lots of other videos. I go back to it a lot. So that's probably one of my favorite ones, just because the scenery is so different than anything I had experienced up to that point. I think I'd been running in Arizona on other work trips before, but nothing like that. And so it was. And I still don't really run a lot in like the hills in Arizona, and I love running out there. So I love running out there during the day when I can see and it's not raining. That's when I love it. So yeah. So that's that's probably one of my favorites. I'm not sure if it's the favorite, but it's probably up there for sure. And Adam says the Leadville Runner wore Endorphin Pro 2. Really? Is that what the EP Endorphin Pros? Cushioning over traction. Or was it the Endorphin Trails? Was it a Saucony runner that won? I didn't know that. Or is it just someone that wore Sauconys? I don't know. Interesting. Thomas says for like Leadville and Western states and those things, he says, any race where you need an entire crew really changes my thought process. You know what, though? What I realize is that there's a lot of people out there that are there by themselves, or like they have picked up a pacer through like a message board. Like Western States has like a message board that basically, or like a kind of like a, basically like corkboard, a digital one, where people will be like, I would love to pace you. I've paced 6 times before. I can run anything between this pace and that pace for the last stretch, you know? And other people will be like, this is my first time running. No one in my normal circle can come out and crew me. So I'm looking for a pacer and I run like this pace. So sometimes people like pick up people that they don't know. And other times I think some people are doing it largely by themselves with the help of the aid stations, you know? And so that's why these aid stations are so heavily kind of like staffed, is because they're helping a lot of the runners too. So like, you know, you don't need an entire crew for those races. I'm sure it really, really helps though. I mean, I've never done any race like that before, so I can't say whether one needs something or not, but I'm sure that it is, it helps. No doubt. And Kyle says, are you setting any other goals with the bike? 50 miles, 100 mile, a race? No goals yet. I think that what I would like to do is we'll see how I feel about the triathlon this week. I think I'm going to really like it. We'll see if I actually do. You know, one doesn't know until they do it. And then I'm feeling that, you know, like figuratively gears will change a little bit. So like I won't, it'll be a lot more running oriented because I've got Chicago Marathon and then CIM are like the next 2 races on the calendar. So like the riding, I'm thinking will probably become like, instead of a Sunday recovery run, like a Sunday ride. So like just a long time, you know, easy pace, just spinning the wheels, I guess in a productive way instead of the figurative, unproductive way, and getting out there. And so like, I think that's kind of how I'll use it. I'm kind of interested in racing, but like, I'm still really afraid of falling on the bike. So like racing seems like the best place to potentially fall down. So I don't know. We'll see. I think I'm going to let the bike tell me what I want to do on it, you know, a little bit. So we'll see where it goes, but it's definitely fun. I certainly enjoy it, and I can see why people are excited by it. And it's very easy to go down the rabbit hole of like, how can I get these incremental improvements, you know? So yeah, so I'm not sure, but we'll see where it goes. I'm open. I'm definitely open. All right. Let's see. Mika Kataya says, man, it's getting dark. Need to start looking for a new headlamp for winter. Any suggestions? I tend to buy the cheap ones on Amazon that you could charge by micro USB because my night runs are not very long. So I don't need the benefit of like, when these AAAs are dead, I could swap out other ones and then keep going. So like, you know, I could just whatever. I usually go about a week before I need to recharge my headlamp. So I just go with whatever's cheap. But I'm thinking last winter, I used a headlamp every day for a long time. I used it a lot. So I'm thinking maybe a lighter, nicer one would be in order. Like Petzl makes really good ones. Is that how you say it? PTZL makes really good ones. They tend to be really expensive. And sometimes, at least lumens wise on the spec sheet, not as bright as some of the cheap ones on Amazon. So I don't know. I just go with whatever's cheap and has the least amount of branding on the headband. So that's kind of how I do it. Stevie76 says, make a statement, but handle more streamers on the bike. I feel like, figuratively speaking, that is like me showing up to this triathlon, just all in all. I'm going to be somewhat of a kind of like a spectacle the entire time anyway. I don't think I need to add literal streamers on my handlebars to kind of, that'd be over the top, I guess. And Todd Webb wants to know, am I ever going to turn the bike into a gravel bike at some point? You know, I've been thinking about that because like a lot of the trails in Iowa are crushed limestone. And so I don't think you can really take a road bike on that. I'm not positive, but I don't think you can. And so I've been thinking about, do I turn it into a gravel bike? I feel like a gravel bike makes it a little bit, like if I set it up as a gravel bike, it would kind of get tuned a little bit better if I'm going to use it to ride around Chicago. So that might be useful. So I'm not sure. We'll see. I'm certainly open to the idea. It seems to be very popular in the cycling space right now too. All right. Here's another one that I don't think I'm going to like, but we'll try it. Raspberry. No, it's actually berries and cream, but there's a raspberry on it and a strawberry. So we'll see. Opening it up, it smells like, you know, raspberry berry flavored things when you get like candy or protein bars. Not really smell like berries, but that like kind of like synthetic berry smell. I like this a lot. This is great. Whoa. It's a touch too like sweet and like heavy on like the artificial raspberry. I mean, I don't know if it's real raspberry flavor in here or not, but there like it's a little bit too like protein bar raspberry flavor, but the texture and the flavor of it, it kind of feels like you're eating strawberry ice cream, but it's not cold and it's not ice cream. Kind of like if it was a cookies and cream bar, but like for strawberry ice cream, which is my favorite flavor of ice cream. So that one is a big surprise. I actually really like it. I don't know if I can eat the whole thing of this though, but I mean, I did go in for a second bite already. I like it. I like it. Team 76 says, I need to rebrand Kofuzi with Kofuzi with an exclamation point at the end. I like it. I like it. Hugo says the LA probably is LA or LA. I think it's LA. Says comes with 25 millimeters. I don't see it could run with 28 without disc brakes and a slim fork. I'm not sure. I think it came with 26 millimeter wheels, but I thought that they said that it could. Well, I mean, it's got mounts for fenders and stuff on it. That doesn't necessarily mean that you could put water tires on it. I don't know a lot about it, but yeah. My thinking is, you know, if I can get into bikes more and I can plan it better, that maybe I will try to reach out to other brands about their bikes that could be turned into gravel bikes, because I feel like that's going to be a useful use case for me in terms of like the places that I might actually ride bikes. So like I think that's where I'm thinking about it. I don't have space to buy a bunch of bikes. Nor do I really want to buy. I mean, I want to buy a lot of bikes. I want all the bikes. Give me more bikes. Like I want bikes. I like it. But like practically speaking, like, you know, I don't have room for a lot of shoes. I have even less room for bikes. But I'm certainly interested in it. So like my wheels are like I said wheels are turning to borrow another phrase, but like, you know, I'm thinking. I like kind of like this space. It's fun here. So I'm excited to explore some more. Thomas Villa says about that berries and cream. Winner. Have not seen that much happiness since apple fritter. Yeah. That's good. It's good. Yeah. Yeah. Remy says the gravel bike equals a winter bike. See, like one of my brothers-in-law, he's got like 5 or 6 bikes. He rides his fat bikes in the wintertime, and I'm like, I definitely don't have space for a fat bike, but does kind of look fun out there to be riding in those things. But here's the thing about the winter bike. I used to ride a motorcycle year round, and it just got so much colder because you're moving fast in the winter. And so like, I feel like when it's cold for running, that's probably going to be too cold for riding for me. So I'm thinking in the wintertime, what I'd really like to do, I mean, I have no idea where we would put it in this place, but to put that thing on like a Wahoo kicker or something. Or whatever it is, not the full-on bike that they have, but the one that's just the smart trainer. Like I think that in the wintertime, that's probably what'll happen to that bike. So we'll see. Lots of fun stuff to potentially take a look at. Oh, Runner Dre said, "Co, did you miss a cowbell for Remy? 100 subs. Did you hit 100 subs? That's amazing. Here we go. Cowbell for that. That's a hard milestone. Congratulations, Remy. I find it hard to believe that you're hitting it now. Like I feel like that channel has been putting out content, and well, it's well deserved and long overdue. So great work, Remy. All right, let's go to another one. We've been going for a while, so I got to kind of speed up a little bit. This one, I'm not sure if I'm going to like this one. White chocolate. We'll see. Naturally flavored, 20 grams protein, 230 calories. I think this is the most of the sodium, though. It's got 200 milligrams of sodium. I specifically mentioned the sodium when I'm eating these because for a protein snack like this, I'm thinking, can this be something you throw in your bag after a workout? Like if you're going somewhere to work out, like to a trail or to a gym or whatever, and you want to get some protein in right away, maybe you don't want to carry a big thing, a tub full of protein powder and mix a drink. Maybe you just want to eat something. And I like to make sure I'm replenishing electrolytes too. It's okay. I think what I would prefer on this, if they put some maple in it and made it a maple flavored bar. I'm getting that vibe from it already. It's pretty good. It's okay. This one tastes like health food. So I don't know. I like white chocolate things, but that one was okay. Yeah. All right. And Kyle says, just remember, true white chocolate melts at room temperature. Does it? Then how did it, wait, how's that possible? They must have to cut it with something else to make it stable. Interesting. All right. We got, Steve says, got a quick shoe question. Have you seen the Endorphin Speed Shield? I'm curious about the outsole. Yeah, I think it's a missed opportunity with the Endorphin Speed Shield. Is it called Shield? I thought it was called something else, but it's like it's like a weatherized version. It comes in blue. I mean, they were excited about who they sent it to. They must have been they set an embargo date on it and everything, because I saw all like the images come out on the same day. I did not get a pair, but you know what I haven't seen is no one has shown a picture of the heel, at least in the images that I've seen so far. Although I think Believe in the Run just posted a video of Robbie running in it today, so I'm sure you could see it there. But I'm like, what did they take the opportunity, as long as they're changing the upper, to put something on the back in that circle? But I don't think I've seen anything. Yeah, but like, I feel like that, like they've got the Endorphin Trail, then Endorphin Speed with a weatherized upper. I'm sure it's not Gore-Tex, or they would have said that, or would say Gore-Tex on it. Can they put those together a little bit, maybe a little bit of both? That's what I'm thinking. Like a winter Endorphin is what I would want. Yeah, that's what I would want. But like the Endorphin, like I don't know. I feel like with the advent, with Nike went from like Pegasus Shield to Pegasus Trail, I'm like, I don't care about the Shield anymore. That's kind of where I'm at, because my winters are hard here. And so like, if it's like, I could just either run in the regular shoe or like a trail version, a Gore-Tex version of it. I don't need anything in between. And I feel like that's where the Endorphin Speed Shield is. I know a lot of you guys have very cold, wet, rainy winters, and that's where I do think that would work well. But I have a feeling it looked like the outsole was at least a similar rubber setup as a regular one, from what I could see in the images. So maybe they made it extra grippy rubber, like they used to say they would do for the Pegasus Shields. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just not sure about it. I'm not super excited about it. I don't know why. I do love the Endorphin Speed though. But all right. Luis Becerra saying, my wife. My wife just told me she was gifting me the Insta360 One X2 for the birthday. That's a great birthday gift. Nice work, Luis. Awesome. Well, happy birthday, number one. And number two, your wife is paying attention. That's for sure. So awesome. Great work, Luis Becerra's wife. That's a great gift. And New Vetra says, remember that Peg Turbo with the high gator? What an interesting shoe. I really liked that one. The problem was I couldn't find a place to put my foot pod. And that one as well, though, didn't have a different outsole than the regular Turbo. So, I mean, maybe the Endorphin Speed Shield, we'll call it. I don't know if it's what it's called. Will be fine. Because I did enjoy. I mean, I think there should be more mid-top shoes for running. I like them. All right. Andrew YT says, do you think the Nova Blast 2 is okay for a marathon with a moderate target time? Yes, I think you could definitely do it. I think it's a good shoe for that. And Garrett says, when I see people on trails with river crossings in waterproof shoes, I cringe. those things won't ever dry after that crossing. Yeah, I mean, getting water in and out. Yeah, so I get that question a lot about shoes when they're waterproof. Is like, but I get that question from a lot of people not doing trail stuff, wanting to do trail stuff in it. I get it from people that are in very hot climates that get like daily downpours. So I'm thinking like in the US, that would be like Southern Florida. But a lot of times it seems to be coming from Southeast Asia where like it's just super humid and super hot all the time. And every day it's going to rain a ton, but it's hot. So they don't want like a winterized shoe. They want a waterproof shoe. But I get a lot of their questions on the winterized waterproof shoes because I generally don't review just waterproof shoes. And I'm like, no, it's going to be hot. It's going to be way too hot. I would go if it's going to be hot and wet, I would go with something that drains. I understand what you're saying, Garrett. If it's going to be cold and wet, then I want to keep the wet out as long as possible. And that's where I go with the Gore-Tex shoes. And Adam says he doesn't get don't get the Gore-Tex shoes. And when your feet get wet, they stay wet. Good winter get good winter socks instead. See, I like Gore-Tex though. I like it. I mean, the worst that I run in is like deep snow. I don't tend to get in. I mean, I get in water, but like when I'm running trails, I'm too scared to do river crossings, and I won't like, just like stomp through a river in the winter. So like my feet stay dry in my Gore-Tex shoes because like the worst that gets in there is a little bit of snow. So I don't have a problem with it. And I don't know. I like Gore-Tex. It's Gore-Tex, Jerry. It's Gore-Tex. So I just like the Gore-Tex. I think I just have an affinity for it. All right, last one. This one is, wait, did I buy 2 of the same bar? I did buy 2 of the same bar. So that was it. I thought I bought 6 different flavors. I just bought 2 chocolate fudges. So I just opened this one up for nothing. Oh well. So that's going to be it. That's all 5 of the flavor. I thought there was a 6th flavor. You know what? I think the 6th flavor was peanut butter. But I did buy 6 bars, so I've got another chocolate fudge that I could eat later. So that's it for the Think bars, everybody. Let's see. Let's get to a couple more of these comments, and then we'll call it a day. Kyle says, have you run any more on the Artist? I can't remember if you did a 100-mile update. I didn't do a 100-mile update. I haven't run more on it because I knew that what I was running in was not like final production. It was near final production. And so I felt like me doing like a 100-mile review on it would be hard, like difficult, because like it's not the production shoe. And I thought about getting the production shoe, and then I just ended up never getting it. So I haven't done a 100-mile update on the Artist because I think the carbon is a little bit different. I don't remember if the outsole is a little bit different from production and the one that I had too. So that's another thing that kind of is maybe like, I don't think I'm going to keep running in this one. So I don't know if I still have it even. I'm not sure. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, looks like Shannon's here. What's going on, Shannon? How are you? And he said, just bought tickets to come spectate the Chicago Marathon run meetup a must. Awesome. That's so cool. Yeah, I mean, hopefully everything gets to happen, but I got to start moving because I want to plan some events. So like, yeah, I got some logistics and stuff like that. The stuff that I'm so bad at that I got to figure out, but stuff that I definitely want to do. So we'll plan on some stuff. We'll plan on some stuff for sure. All right. I think that's a good place to leave it for today. Oh, Scott says just eat the chocolate one anyway. Well, I mean, I still have a chocolate fudge one that's half eaten already, so I can just I'll eat more of that one. Usually all these ones that I've half eaten, I put in a container and I eat them in the morning before my runs, because normally I just forget to eat breakfast otherwise. And so like I still have like 2 half-eaten no cow bars in the cupboard, and these will go in the cupboard. So that all gets eaten, and it's not like food, it's processed food. So like it doesn't go bad. It gets dried out a little bit, but it doesn't go bad. So yeah, so that's the situation there. So cool. All right. Good news on Shannon's going to be coming up for the Chicago Marathon. That's awesome. And let's see. Someone was asking, is there any more information of canceled events? Yeah. And Kyle wants to know. And then where'd it go? Jeff said that Kona just got pushed. It's in February. Yeah, I just saw that too. I saw that yesterday. I don't know when it happened, but I heard about it yesterday. So that's getting moved to February. But Hawaii's been weird. Hawaii's been very cautious about who they're letting over to the islands over there. And so it's that could be like they're extra cautious over there. But also, again, Kona's a big event. The New Jersey Marathon canceled. So like, who knows what'll happen? I'm going to go ahead and plan as if things are going on. That's all I can do. Hopefully you guys can make it up to Chicago. We'll all go for a big run. Hopefully I can get some of these other like events that I probably should have been planning ahead even earlier, but hopefully I can do some of those things. I'll talk about them if they kind of come to fruition later on. So, well, hopefully I'll have a lot more good news on that regard, and hopefully I'll be able to see you guys soon, because it's coming up. It's really soon. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today. Today, I'm still working on trying to get the Vomero 16 video out for today. We'll see if I can get it out or not. It'll depend on how energetic the girls are. We just came back from Iowa yesterday, so they're a little bit tired, but we'll see how much they want to go out and do something this afternoon. If I can like fly under the radar, we'll get that video out today. If not, it'll be tomorrow. And then tomorrow we'll also do another live stream, Trivia Tuesday. I'm thinking since I got the triathlon coming this weekend, it'll be triathlon themed, but it'll be easy. So questions that anyone can guess and answer. So I'll try to write them that way. So it'll be fun. And until then, be safe out there, everybody. All right. Take care.